Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. Welcome to Newark. Welcome to NJIT. I'm Dave Popkin. This is a tremendous and proud day for NJIT, for the Atlantic Sun Conference. We welcome all of you watching worldwide on ESPN3 today and here in person. It's been both a marathon and a sprint for NJIT, a marathon over the last 9 years to grow the athletics program and to find the right conference fit, and a sprint, frankly, over the last 30 days or so to make sure that this could occur, that this marriage could occur for next season for these student athletes. The Atlantic Sun was founded in 1978 and is a conference with excellent academic and athletic reputation. It's a great opportunity for these student athletes to build rivalries and to compete for not only league titles but NCAA tournament berths. We thank the Atlantic Sun Commissioner, Ted Gumbart, for being here and for all of his assistance in this process, his league staff, the league presidents, Greg Shaheen, and everybody else that was so vital in this process. Without any further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce a gentleman who has been a huge part of the leadership here at NJIT for the last 25 years, and he is in his 4th year as the president. Please welcome Dr. Joel Bloom.
I've got a whole list of thanks to make, but let me start with our host. Where's Tim Capture? He's at Bestroa. He's back there. And Dave Popkin, they've been critical in helping us navigate the business of conference membership. You gentlemen have done an outstanding job, so thank both of you. And I'll get to make some comments about Ted and the Atlantic Sun shortly. The story about all of this really begins 15 plus years ago. And I think there's at least one other person in the room who may remember we had this game that we played, a basketball game, men's basketball game, at Madison Square Garden against Yeshiva University. It's a long story. I won't tell you the backstory on that. And we had some folks there, and the president then, the president who literally has built this university, Saul K. Fenster, stood in the Felt Forum and said, this is the beginning of Division I athletics. I was a vice president at the time, responsible for athletics. I was surprised, as everyone else was, in the room when he made that announcement. I knew nothing, and nor did he, nor did most of us, about Division I athletics. So we set off to find somebody who did. And about 15 years ago, I had the chance to meet Lenny Kaplan. And Lenny Kaplan has been the steward, the navigator, the leader of this effort over the past 15 years. What we had to do along the way, of course, was interesting, right? I wasn't just saying you're going to be in Division I. We need to find some coaches. And I'd really like at this time a round of applause for all of the NJIT coaches. They had to find, and I always get a chance to meet some of them on an annual basis, some outstanding, all caps students. The students at NJIT work really hard. It's not easy to get through Calc 1 and Calc 2 and Calc 3 and differential equations and physics and chemistry and even some School of Management tough courses, but they're here and they deserve a massive round of applause. So for our student athletes, thank you, and thank you. Yesterday, when I got a chance, spent most of the day in Orlando. Orlando's an amazing place. No, I did not get a chance to meet Mickey or Minnie, but you can go from the airport to hotel and never even feel the heat or the humidity of Orlando. We did that yesterday, and I got a chance to meet with Ted and some of his colleagues, and he has been instrumental. This has been about somebody, you said it earlier, Dave, it was a marathon and then a sprint, and it's been going on for about 6 to 8 weeks. And then yesterday, having met 6 of the 7 ASUN presidents, not only is the ASUN an outstanding conference, the leadership is excellent, The universities of the ASUN are an outstanding fit for us. They're academics. They focus a lot on what we focus on. There are a number of engineering programs and other STEM programs. Their GPAs and their graduation rate is superb. This is the company we want to be in. So Ted, congratulations on having put an outstanding conference together. And we're so going to enjoy flying south in, say, August? No, flying south in January and February and March to watch our athletes continue to perform as they do excellently. So thank you again to the ASUN and all that you've done for our students and our NJIT community. The NJIT community is a big one. It's growing every day. We have outstanding colleagues. I got to sit next to Governor Cody during our 3 playoff games. Governor, please, if you would. Thank you. I won't tell the whole story, but X number of years ago, the governor, who was a strong advocate and participant and coach in basketball, challenged NJIT to play Seton Hall. We'll stop there. Now we will play them, though. But all of a sudden, he's not so interested in the game. But anytime you'd like, we can arrange that. So thank you again, Governor Cody. And let me take this opportunity. Talked about the large community of NJIT. We happened, and he just joined us, and he's going to make some comments in a minute for us, please. The mayor, Ras Baraka, also came to the playoff games, at least one that I remember, 2. Sat there along with Governor Cody and I I learned all about basketball in about 3 hours one evening from the mayor and the governor. But I have to tell you, this is a great city. We have a great leader here, and we're going to continue to work with the governor. This summer we have the Governor Ras Baraka Coding Institute here that he is supporting. We're working with about 175 students in the beautification this summer, which is some of the training for these students is going to take place here with the faculty of our College of Architecture and Design. So without further ado, I'm going to ask the mayor to please come up and make some comments. Mayor.
The governor assured me that I wouldn't have to speak today. But, I came to the games because Governor Cody threatened me. So I'm just saying that publicly. But I enjoyed myself. It was a sight to see. The excitement, the competitiveness that was happening down the street from City Hall right here in the city of Newark was incredible. I was an NJIT fan the minute I left that game. And I've always been so proud of the institution of the university right up the street. As Dr. Bloom has said, when I was a principal at Central High School, we worked with the institution to make sure kids were able to get scholarships to go to school here, to graduate from this university, that are now, some of them are moving forward into our city, working with us. So it's been an incredible relationship with NJIT from the very beginning. The kind of work that happens here is enormous, and we're so proud to have you in our city. That's for sure, to have NJIT as a part of Newark. This summer, working with our kids, not just in beautification, but also in coding. And that's going to happen as well. So the first of its kind, and we're excited about that. Now I get to say that NJIT is not just the smartest school in the state of New Jersey, but we're also the most athletic school in the state of New Jersey as well. So we're going to be #1 in engineering and #1 in basketball. We're going to make that happen. So congratulations to everyone here, to Dr. Bloom and to all of the faculty and staff, the incredible players here at the university. I know this is a long time coming for you, and it's a great achievement. We're so proud of you, and we expect you to do enormous things. And we're going to now carry buses down to your games. So win, win, win.
So I concur with the mayor about the academic profile as well as the athletic profile. And to address that, we happen to have a Hall of Fame alum baseball player with us here. He also happens to be the state senator. He's a civil engineer, alumnus. And he's also, as he likes to remind me, the chair of the Budget and Finance Committee. Everyone knows what budget and finance means in the state of New Jersey. He's a dear friend. I get to hang out with him at times, certainly over the telephone frequently, and just please welcome Senator Paul Salo.
Thank you, Dr. Bloom, and it's great to be here. Governor Cody, Mayor Baraka, thank you for having me in your great city and the great work that you're doing here in the city of Newark. And I always get excited when I come to NJIT as a former graduate here at a bachelor's and master's in civil engineering and a former baseball player and honored to be in their Athletic Hall of Fame. I always get excited to come here and see what's happening here and the great work that they're doing here. But I am also very, very thrilled to be here today. This is something that I never thought I would see. Back when I played ball here, we were a Division III school. I am so excited to be in Newark today and at NJIT for this great announcement and to this great conference with great schools who also care about great academic standards like they do here at NJIT. And Mayor, you are correct. It is one of the finest engineering schools, not only just in the state, but across this great country. And the students have gone on to do so many great things here. And as the chairman of the Senate Budget and Appropriations Committee, we continue to push for this school and to finance higher education. Higher education is the way we help to generate jobs and grow the economy. And I have the opportunity now as a state senator to promote higher education at NJIT, but I also do a lot of coaching at youth baseball levels. And I remind them of my days playing here at NJIT and what that meant to me. And I believe academics and athletics are tied together, and we have some great student athletes here, and we are going to show this country that NJIT is ready, whether it's soccer, whether it's basketball, baseball, you name it, we're coming. Volleyball, you name it, we're coming. And to all the teams in your conference, Chairman, we are ready for you. And we're going to show this country that NJIT belongs in a great, great conference. And we are so proud that you will have allowed us in. So thank you. Thank you for giving us the opportunity. Thank you to the Atlantic Sun and all the teams in the Atlantic Sun for welcoming a great institution. And I'm looking forward to traveling down south to see all these games as well. Thank you.
So as you've heard, it's a great integration of athletics and academics here on this campus. And we couldn't do all of this without the support. And let me take a moment to introduce. We always try to make sure that our students, and Lenny likes to tell a story, and he may well, while even the athletes are on the road, we have something at NJIT called Common Exams. And the students find a place to open their laptops and take the assigned common exams while they're traveling for athletic play. And a lot of help. Michael Siegel of the mathematics department is our faculty representative, our FAR as they call them, so thank you, Michael. Our provost makes sure there's a good integration of academic and athletics and the support of our faculty for our students, so thank you, Fadi Deek. We also have the chair of the Board of Overseers here with us, and Marjorie Perry. Marjorie, if you'd please stand. Along with the overseers, the other critical board involved. So we're now building a building for our athlete to participate in the conference, to convene large-scale, not only athletic but academic events. And we couldn't have done that all without our Board of Trustees. So I thank the Board of Trustees who've shown leadership as we move from 3 to 2 to 1 and supporting you, the coaches, the athletes, and the initiatives here. So I want to thank those folks. I want to again thank our faculty and our staff and our student athletes. And it is now my pleasure to introduce somebody who I learned that his favorite expression is we're making progress. Lenny would keep me informed via text message. You know, everything in life is a negotiation, as you would assume, This is an established conference with high standards. So we need to make sure they understand who we are, and we need to do our due diligence about them. So as all of this was unfolding, some of us are not as patient as others, and I'd check in with Mr. Kaplan, and I'd say, how are we doing? And he said, well, I just got an email from Ted Gumbart, and Ted has said, we're making progress. So I threatened Lenny, I'm going to bring a T-shirt today, give it to Ted, and say we're making progress. But it's my pleasure to introduce you, Ted, so please come to the microphone.
Thank you. It is my distinct honor to be here today as a representative of all of the Atlantic Sun, our 2,500 plus student athletes, all of our faculty and staff at the universities that take great pride in not only athletics, but the academic success of their entire student body. And we brag about the student athletes who achieve at a higher rate, and you should. There's outstanding support for you. So our President's Council, as spokesperson for them today, and all of our athletic directors, senior women administrators, our set of faculty athletic reps, and again, mentioning all of our student athletes. My pleasure to be here today as the ASUN representative, and Governor Cody and Mayor Baraka and Senator Sarlo. It's a pleasure, and I've got some comments that I'm going to make. And we get the stage, and I'm always given points. I said, make sure you do X, Y, and Z. But I want to get to the piece of business that we'll make official. And I know the suspense is probably unbearable as to what the Commissioner of the Atlantic Sun is doing here today. But at this point, Dr. Bloom,
Yes.
I want to officially welcome you as a member of the Atlantic Sun Conference. New Jersey Institute of Technology becomes our 8th member. And there's a little more history than maybe we'll all get to today, but we'll get the long stories out at some point. But Lenny Kaplan obviously has been a great part of this institution's development athletically and through the transition to Division I. And whether he knows it or not, this conversation about this day possibly coming, and now I'll say my new motto is, we're ready. And I'm glad he knows that. But one thing that I'm going to go through very quickly is that building winners for life is our institutional motto, our conference motto, and it's built into our mission statement, and it's what we're about. And so I'll go through a little bit of what that means, but in the building, one of the things that we helped build was a group called the Coastal Collegiate Swimming Association. And I talked to some swimmers down earlier today. We always like to talk to the student athletes. And they were surprised to learn that not only does the Atlantic Sun operate the sports in our conference, but we also oversee the administrative arm of the Coastal Collegiate Swimming Association. So I've already recruited Lenny into our conference once, and little did he know that over those past 2 years, every time I check in with him and find out how it's going and learn about what's going on, there's always a broad picture. And so we're glad that that family relationship is now extended to the full department. And so part of what we've built, and are glad to have you as part of it, as a partner that we all benefit from, we built something that allowed this ESPN3 broadcast to happen live. We were the first conference to engage in a campus initiative where every campus is a production unit for ESPN. And we were the first conference to have every single basketball game televised on the ESPN platform. So we've been building, and those are things that we do. We built that swimming conference. We've built the ESPN program, where we were first, and actually the SEC network learned a lot from what we put together. And that's a point of pride for us. And we've also built a student-athlete support system. I've been with the conference for 24 years. In 2000, we started a new method of honoring the student athletes, and every one of them that hit a 3.0 were put on the academic honor roll. And we had 40%, and we celebrated. And then a few years later, we hit 50%, and again, we celebrated. And as that trend goes, I was in charge of PR at the time as well, and like, all right, every time you brag about a record, it's like, you know, be sure that trend keeps going. And I got a little nervous, but we crossed 55, we celebrated again, then we crossed 60, and we crossed 65, and I was like, this is awesome. But the commitment from the staff, the faculty, the student athletes as a joint team, and the coaches, because they have to recruit people that can be successful. And that means in the classroom, which is very important to us, which is why this is part of the great fit that NJIT brings. We're now at 68%, and that was part of the due diligence that we know absolutely that the student success is as important as anything at this institution, and that's important to us as well. So congratulations to the student athletes. And all of you who are part of it, because that doesn't happen without planning and attention and care. And again, we talked to the SAC delegates when I'm on campus. I met some of them already today, that we are 100% sincere that their mission to get a graduate degree or an undergraduate degree or finish with a diploma, and we tell them, if you don't get that tassel moved, you haven't finished your job. That's what we want. So building that support system is good. We also built a basketball improvement plan that has grown. We've had multiple teams in postseason, but maybe most importantly to you, we've developed a program where we called it Bringing the Madness to You, that our basketball tournament is played on the campus of the higher seed. So that's a possibility that not only did you go from not having a conference to having a conference, and now you have an opportunity to compete and actually play that conference tournament here in Newark. And that's something that we're proud of. It led to a record-setting crowd, both for the event as a whole and for our championship this past year. At the UNF campus, North Florida had never been to the NCAA tournament. So when ESPN came to their campus, 6,100 people came. They were sold out. We had to have the fire department in there to authorize the extra people standing on all the balconies. And I like looking up here and finding out we have an SRO crowd here. But that's something that we've been proud of, that we've built, and we look forward to sharing that opportunity with the NJIT teams. Winners. The second part of our Building Winners for Life. Obviously, we love to celebrate. We love to celebrate achievement. We love to celebrate victory. And we feel we've got a lot of winners. That academic side, part of our mission statement includes the balance between student and athlete, and recognizing that student is first for a reason. But we do want to compete. We do want to win. And you may know some of these brief points, but over the last couple of years, we're 3-3 in the men's basketball tournament. Some people watch that. And we've been very proud when FGCU went to the Sweet 16. Florida Gulf Coast University was the first 15 seed to ever do that. So we made history that day. And UNF, again, as I said, they were the first time they ever hosted a championship game, and they were our representative this year. But we've had 6 of our teams, either men and women, play in postseason basketball the last 4 years. We support that. That's when the spotlight's the brightest. So we've had multiple CIT participants. We've worked very well with them for postseason competition. We've had women's basketball invitational, we've had women's NIT, we've had men's NIT, and of course NCAA for both men and women. So we love to brag on that competition and success. Also, we've had great camaraderie amongst our coaches and administrators to build a better ASUN. And they've worked together. And in softball, we give them a schedule, and they have set aside an entire day where they rearrange so that they can compete on their spring break in a specific tournament or free up a chance to play a top-ranked team. And they all work together. And they said, give us this opportunity. And we said, do it. And now the results over a couple of years, their schedules are such that we had 2 at-large selections last year to the softball tournament. And that comes from not just those teams being outstanding, but the 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th place teams all achieving at higher levels. And this fall, we had the first women's volleyball team earn an at-large bid. So we had 2 in volleyball. We've had multiple teams in many tournaments, tennis, golf, and we look forward to adding to that with the NJIT participation. The 4, Building Winners 4. And I told a group of student athletes that it's a connector for life, but the for is something we take seriously. We are for you. We are for your success. We're rooting for NJIT, and I just think that's a good way to go about things. Be for something and support it and go for it. And then life. The Building Winners for Life. It's a lifetime commitment that this institution is making to you, and you're making a growth step in your education and your life, and we're proud to be some small part of that. I tell people I work in higher education, and athletics is the vehicle. So it's for a lifetime, and we also want you to be good competitors and be a winner at life. So whatever it is that your future holds, we want to be sure that institutionally and conference-wide we support that. And when I look at a great partnership, we know that NJIT knows a little bit about building as well. Building a program that Coach Engels has done, building a department, building a university and an honors college, and then I understand there might be a new building related to athletics. So the Wellness Center is something that we're very excited about having the opportunity for our student athletes to compete in. So we know that you're involved in building and you're involved in doing it for that commitment for life, and we're just very pleased and proud that we're able to be partners with NJIT. And I know that the next thing I'm going to do is introduce Lenny, but for all of us, again, collectively, the fan base, the alumni, the student athletes, the administrators, everybody involved with the ASUN now includes you. And we're very happy for that. We're celebrating. I did tell a colleague, I said, when we bring them back into the room, I said, make sure you look them in the eye, because you're going to see a sparkle, and it's a great day. So yesterday when we announced it, we got to see two gentlemen have that sparkle, and so we love to celebrate. And today, I've seen it a lot. We're celebrating as well. Folks that are following us, this is a celebration for us as well. So we look forward to jointly building winners for life. Welcome to the Atlantic Sun Conference. Absolutely. Now I'm going to turn it over to the Athletics Director, Lenny Kaplan.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank everybody for coming. Tremendous crowd. Great day to be a Highlander. Great day for the university, the athletic department, and most importantly, our student athletes. That's what we have here at NJIT, and that's what we're most proud of, our student athletes. They have excelled in the classroom, as evidenced by their strong academic performances, 15 straight semesters of a cum GPA of over 3.1, over 20% are members of the Honors College, and over 65% on the Dean's List. Athletically, 3 teams this year earned victories against nationally ranked opponents. We had a top 15 finish at the NCAA Fencing Championships and a great run to the national semifinals of the College Insider Tournament. These are true student athletes. Big thing missing from their experience over the last 10 years was the benefits of being in a conference. Their ability to compete for championships, have a voice in the ongoing national debate about student-athlete welfare, and enhancing their student-athlete experience to what it should be. I am proud NJIT has the opportunity to be a member of the Atlantic Sun Conference. The ASUN is a nationally recognized conference with a track record of academic and athletic success that will help give our university national exposure and our student athletes the opportunities they deserve. Today is a defining moment for our program, 10 years in the making. It's where we are no longer another Division I team representing ourselves, but one with an opportunity to make a larger statement representing the ASUN as we take the next steps in the growth of our program. I would like to thank Commissioner Gumbart for his belief in us and the ASUN President's Council for inviting us in. It's been a fast-paced few weeks. I thoroughly enjoyed meeting the presidents yesterday, and I look forward to working together with them and the athletic directors to take the Atlantic Sun Conference to greater heights. I'd like to thank my coaches and staff for their tireless efforts in helping make this happen, and to our student athletes, for without them, none of us would be here. Lastly, I would like to thank President Bloom. Without his patience, support of this Division I vision, none of this would be happening. I would like to now introduce head coach Jim Engels.
someone to take a picture, I want this thing right here. Can I make this a blanket? Can I wear this tonight? We're going to put this on our bed tonight. When we play like Villanova and Michigan, and when we're winning, and when you play in these big arenas, people sit next to you. It's like the pro courts, and I always we're beating Villanova 48-41 in the second half, and I'm talking to these alums, and I'm like, quick, take a picture, put it on Instagram. We're winning by 7. And they all look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm serious. Like, I want to see that on Instagram. So it's been a very interesting, I've been here for 7 years. Obviously, I want to thank all the people who's been able to put this to this day, this moment. We've had a lot of moments as coaches here and student athletes, and it's really a very emotional day for me because it's been hard. It's been hard to, and I've seen how all these different coaches and all these different student athletes have had to deal with the fact that we haven't been in a conference. And you know, this is the future now for our school. This is the future for us. This is us moving forward. The past is behind us. The one thing I do want to say about the past, we need to earn this opportunity as student athletes and coaches and administrators. This is not something that happens lightly. We are connected now with a group of people. I don't know how much fun, I don't know if you realize how much fun it is to get on the internet and see the teams that are in your conference and who they're playing against and rooting for the people in your conference. The Atlantic Sun becomes our family now, and you're going to enjoy that so much when they play a big-time team and you see that they beat them and you know that you're competing against them. We're all connected now. And the past, and we need to earn it for the people who've been sitting here and who came here with a vision and were not able to have the opportunity that we're going to have going forward. There's been a lot of kids, you know, I can speak for my team personally. You know, when I recruited, and you know, the first question we always get on the phone is, what conference are you in? And you know, it's a question that you have to answer. And you know, all the kids that came to this school committed to this academic school for the academics and for the opportunity. And they came knowing that they might not have an opportunity to compete in the NCAA tournament. So we need to earn that for them, because those people deserve, they were the ones who did the heavy lifting, and they're the ones who put themselves in a position to where we can get to right now. So I'm so happy, and I'm so happy for them. And we saw a lot of that this year when we made the run in the College Insider Tournament, when the alums came back. And you know, I said to my team, you know, when we walk down the street, I sent out an email to my alums yesterday, and one of them emails me back and goes, I walked in the store today, and he goes, you guys beat Michigan this year, you know, and that pride that we've been able to experience and our alums have been able to experience is priceless. It's something you can't put a price on. So we need to earn this opportunity for them. And I'm so humbled to have the opportunity to join this conference and motivate and to look at some things from a different perspective and not have to be so creative in some of the things we'll be able to do. And I'm really looking forward to the opportunity for everyone here. So the other people I would like to thank, because these people, we're talking about student athletes and we're talking about the administrators and the coaches today. You know, for the last 7 years, there have been parents, there have been coaches, high school coaches, AAU coaches, uncles, guardians, who have given us the opportunity to coach their kids, and they haven't gotten any credit because they wanted to see their daughter or son be given the greatest opportunity they can get. And we owe them a lot too, because you know, as a father, you know, I want my kids to have the opportunity that every other kid's going to have the opportunity when they go to college. And unfortunately, some of those guys that were before us haven't had that chance. So I want to thank all those people as well. And I really want to thank my wife, because, and this is just personally now, I'm a disaster to live with, and yesterday was an unbelievable, it was like the longest pregnancy that we're supposed to hear at 10:30, and then my wife is calling me. My daughter leaves her 6th grade class, tells the teacher, I need to go down and make a call to my mother, goes down to the principal's office and calls my wife to find out if we're in the league yet. So I'm just telling you all this because that's how much this affects everybody. And I do want to tell Ted, if we didn't get in this conference, there was going to be a Jersey hit on you, dude. So you were close. You were this close. All right, so we're going to bring some Northeastern flair to this Southern Conference. So thank you very much. Unbelievable. I am so happy for the student athletes here. You guys have no idea what's going to happen. And please, I'm serious. Let's earn this. Let's make sure that we take advantage of this. Do not take it for granted. It's not the right thing. That's not what we're going to do. All right? Thank you very much.
We're going to take one photograph on the stage, and then we'll open it up to the media for questions. We have a microphone that'll go around. When we do that, please identify yourself and the outlet you're from and to whom the question is directed. So if we can stand for one picture quickly.
We ought to move away from the podium to one side. Yes? No? All right. Oh, we're covering the Cody. Thank you. We need balance on this side. Oh, yeah.
I need you to speak to the boss on that. I'll do that. Okay. Good. Great. All right.
Okay, we'd like to open it up to questions for the media here today, and we thank you for coming. Microphone? In the back, Josh.
Josh Newman, Asbury Park Press. Ted, when Northern Kentucky left in May, how much did that kind of hasten this process?
I think the feeling is that, as I said, we've had conversations, and Lenny may not have known it, but part of my job is to always be aware of the future possibilities, and sometimes timing matters, sometimes it doesn't matter, but I would say that this is something that likely could have happened in any scenario, and today we're celebrating NJITs being part of our family, but there is a symmetry in time that things have to happen. But as I said, we've had them in the Coastal Collegiate Swimming Association, so I've been his commissioner for a couple of years. And even Tim Capstraw will tell you that the discussions we've had the door was always open to a further pursuit of this. And I think we're very pleased that the more in-depth the investigation got, the more we were confirmed that this was a great move for us, regardless of any other movement. So for the schools that were in the conference, I can tell you they were unanimous in approving NJIT, and so that's the focus, and we're very pleased. And again, this is part of a membership strategy that we've been working on, and there's some other pieces that we expect to develop in the coming months, and this just makes us stronger in our pursuit of some other things that we do in other sports with other relationships. But this is a focus on why NJIT and the ASUN are good partners.
Thank you. Jim?
Thanks, Dave. I'm Jim Haig from Associated Press, and Ted, for you too, twofold, if at all possible. Number one, how much was the New York metropolitan area a lure for the Athletic Sun to come into? And second of all, how much was the final piece of the deal? Was it that there is the plan of building a new facility that's going to seat more people and be more of an arena type thing for your conference? So twofold.
All right. First, the market is something that's a piece. We absolutely will enjoy a presence with our institutional members being able to reach into this market for student recruitment, for alumni activities. So absolutely, that was a plus. But that's not on the first list of evaluation. It's an institutional evaluation. In all honesty, these folks will tell you if you need to build an athletic program, you need resources and you need good friends, and you can change the fortunes of an athletic team. There's the proof. We've put it together, and in a number of years, they've turned it very quickly to a success. So the institution is what's first. But yes, it's absolutely a plus, and it makes sense, and that's a two-way relationship, that there's a lot of markets in the Southeast that'll be valuable for the entire NJIT family. So part of the equation, that's a plus and makes it valuable, but it's an institutional relationship first. The second part about the Wellness Center and what part that played, I think it can't be overlooked at all. That is part of the information that we got. It's part of the We're Ready campaign. And I always did. I knocked him. I said, yeah, I got it. I've seen it. And I did. And it was a really good piece. In fact, when I met Jim at the Final Four, there was a reception, and he received an award. And one of our student athletes received a Mid-Major Player of the Year award. And when he was honored with that, it was just a tremendous part of what was going on. And I can now share that he committed to come into the league and said, we'll play all the games on the road. And I said, that's good. My recorder was on. And
that deal's done.
So anyway, yes, it was a very important part. And again, it's all part of the whole. And we're very pleased to be bringing that partnership full tilt, full participation, full ESPN3 for everybody. And it's just something that works overall. But yes, that's obviously was part of their presentation and part of what opened our eyes.
And just to add, NJIT and the 4 of the universities are in the northern part of the state of Florida, where NJIT has over 2,100 alums there. So it was of great interest to us to play in a market where we can have a very nice turnout at athletic events. And the alums there run the full range from some of our recent alums employed at great places like Siemens to those who are spending some of their latter years enjoying the warmer climate. So it was a very important place for us because of the kind of support we can get when we play, and particularly among and with the Florida universities.
Questions? Okay. You have a follow-up?
This is for Lenny, and Lenny and for Ted, both you can talk about it. You said it was a whirlwind experience. Lenny, I talked to you right around the Final Four. You said there was nothing going on. Here it is, it's less than 2 months later, and now you have a conference. So you say it's a whirlwind. How did that transpire from being hardly anything in April to now where you are part of a conference and a full-time member?
Well, over the last 10 years, I've probably spoken to 1,000 people, many commissioners. Ted thinks it's a coincidence that every time he walked out of a room at a conference, I was there. Had nothing to do with being a coincidence, a little bit of stalking. And clearly it worked. So, so it's, in April, you're still kind of seeing what's out there. And I think the departure of Northern Kentucky, although I think we were on a couple of conference radars, the departure of Northern Kentucky hastened, sped up the process a little bit. So, there's always something going on, and speaking to a lot of people constantly. If you look at my phone bill, probably call people in about 40 different states monthly. But yeah, and I think, as I said, so, at the Final Four, there's always a couple people we're looking at and we're talking to, but, at the end of the day, it's got to be a partnership, and they have to want to invite you in. And when the Atlantic Sun, right after Northern Kentucky's departure, we'd already been looked at by them. We've had a relationship for years, and that just kind of made it happen a little bit faster. So,
any other questions?
No, I think that Lenny's framed it well, but I would say that part of our responsibility for our universities and for the conference to make sure the student athletes have all the opportunities, we've always been cognizant of ensuring and growing those opportunities. So, I mean, whether it was forming that swimming league We developed sand volleyball. We're the first conference in the country to do that. We formed a women's lacrosse league where we merged with the National Lacrosse Conference and got them a bid where they were not eligible for a bid. And then folks that were involved with that actually turned to us to form a men's lacrosse league. I think I said volleyball, I meant lacrosse. And then the responsibility of always looking ahead, that I was on the management council and read new member reports for a while. And so I knew every school that went through reclassification. I knew every school that came to Division I. And so absolutely, we knew a lot about NJIT, and I knew they were ready. And so I told him, I said, when he finally texted me, I said, we're going to get there. We're going to have a celebration, and so we're glad to be here today. So there is. It has to be, I think the last thing I told my membership is like, what's the holdup? And I said, we're just bringing everybody to the spot at the same time. So we were able to do it, and it's a good day today. We're happy to celebrate.
Okay, if there are no further questions, we'll break out into one-on-one interviews. Dr. Bloom will be available. We do have one question.
Daquan Holiday.
Daquan Holiday from the men's basketball team, yes.
Alumni. And, first of all, I want to say congratulations to Coach Ingles on a wonderful season. Could you just briefly talk about the senior leadership that you had on the team and what that meant to your success?
I will say this, Daquan, I just wanted to congratulate you. First of all, he graduated from NJIT, which is a great accomplishment. Number two, he has signed a professional contract to play in Germany for next year, so we're all very proud of him. Just wanted to say that. And that will be the end of Daquan for the rest of the day. Thank you.
There will be lunch available upstairs for everyone. Dr. Bloom is going to be available along with our elected officials, the commissioner, Lenny Kaplan, Coach Engels, all of the NJIT coaches that are in attendance are available to the media for one-on-ones now. Again, we thank you for coming. We thank you for watching. We congratulate NJIT and the Atlantic Sun. Thank you.